All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Searchlight Town Advisory Board meeting, August 28th, 2024. Quick disclaimer, this meeting is audio and video recorded. The audio recordings can be found on the Clark County website, and the video recordings can be found on the Searchlight tab YouTube handle. Note, items on the agenda may be taken out of order. The board may combine two or more agenda items for consideration. The board may remove an item from the agenda or delay discussion relating to an item at any time. No action may be taken on any matter not listed on the posted agenda. All planning and zoning matters heard at this meeting are forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners Zoning Commission or the Clark County Planning Commission for final action. Please turn off or mute all cell phones and other electronic devices. Please take all private conversations outside the room. With a 48-hour advance request, a sign language interpreter, or other reasonable efforts to assist and accommodate persons with physical disabilities may be made available by calling 702-455-3530 or Relay Nevada toll-free at 800-326-6868. Supporting material provided to board members for this meeting may be requested from Tammy Harris at 702-298-0828. Supporting material will also be available at the Clark County Department of Administrative Services, 500 South Grand Central Parkway, 6th floor, Las Vegas, Nevada. Supporting material will also be available on the county's website at clarkcountynv.gov/searchlight tab. Board members: Kyle Myers, Chairperson; James Allen, Vice Chairperson; Kim Colton, Natalie Jeter, and Kayla McGinnis. Secretary Tammy Harris and County Liaison Mark Moskowitz. This time I'd like to call the meeting to order. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. We're moving on to roll call. Kyle Myers here. James Allen.
Here.
Kim Colton.
Here.
Natalie Jeter. Absent. And Kayla McGinnis.
Here.
All right, moving on to public comment period. It's a period devoted to comments by the general public about items on this agenda. No discussion, action, or vote may be taken on this agenda item. You will be afforded the opportunity to speak on individual public hearing items at the time they are presented. If you wish to speak to the board about items within its jurisdiction but not appearing on this agenda, you must wait until the comments by the general public period listed at the end of this agenda. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please step up to the speaker's podium. If applicable, clearly state your name and address, and please spell your last name for the record. If any member of the board wishes to extend the length of a presentation, this will be done by the chairperson or the board by majority vote. Moving on to approval of the agenda for August 28th, 2024, and hold, combine, or delete any items. I'd like to motion approval of the agenda for August 28th, 2024. Can we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passed 4-0. And moving on to informational items. Item number 1, receive a report and updates from South County Liaison Mark Moskowitz and any other updates from Clark County.
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick update. I know next month, September 28th, we'll be having the animal vaccine clinic. It's the 3rd annual one. That'll be at the fire station. So it's going to be in the afternoon. At next month's meeting in early September, I'll have flyers and stuff to distribute for that. So, yep, we're very excited to do it.
Awesome.
That's it.
Thank you, Mark. Anyone have questions for South County Liaison Mark Moskowitz? All right, moving on to item number 2, announcements of upcoming neighborhood meetings and county or community meetings and events.
Judy Mundorf, Grandpa's Road, on September 7th, first Saturday of September, we will be having folks out to Walking Box Ranch. This is our first Saturday event. Kim Means will speak about desert plants, and we're going to be laying out some trails, walking trails around there, the board will. And then on October 5th, again, a first Saturday, that's Public Lands Day, National Public Lands Day. And I don't have all the details what's happening there, but I think there'll be a lot of volunteers helping to do some cleanup over in Weethump and working around the ranch there. The good news is BLM finally hired a rodent control company, and they're trying to get the rodents out of the ranch house.
That's great. Thank you, Judy. Do we have any other announcements? Okay. All right, moving on to planning and zoning. We have one item, WS-24-0373, McCoy John W. and Lori A. Waivers of development standards for the following. 1, reduce setbacks, and 2, reduce separations in conjunction with an existing single-family residence on 0.65 acres in an RS 5.2 residential single-family zone, generally located on the north side of Hobson Street and 350 feet east of Buffalo Street within Searchlight, for possible action to the PC September 17th, 2024. And for the summary, reduce setbacks, reduce separations in conjunction with a single family 0.65 acres, generally located on the north side of Hobson Street and 350 feet east of Buffalo Street within Searchlight. Do we have an applicant? Applicant like to make a presentation and clarify any information? Please.
Can I get that?
Yes, please step up to the speaker's podium.
I have 3 minutes to speak.
No.
So we have had this up for 9 years now, our garage. And that's what we're asking for the waivers, and in the shipping container, we've had that up for 15 years. John's estranged son moved on our property, and it did go south. We had to file an eviction notice, restraining orders against him, and so all went forward with that. Then now he is weaponizing our property with code enforcement. This is what is happening at this point. So we've been working with the Clark County for almost a year now, trying to get this set. So that is why we are here today. Then we have another follow-up meeting with comprehensive planning on the 17th. So we're asking for 3 waivers, setbacks, to reduce the setbacks and separation of the buildings. And one question did come up in my agenda with comprehensive planning, that why we did not put our garage up on the top level of our property. But as you look at the aerial view, it looks like it's flat. It is not flat. It is a 4-tier property with maybe a 8 to 12 foot drop on each side. And these are not just like a muddy drop. These are granite. I mean, it's an old mining town. So it is quite treacherous just to walk up there. Not only that, I wouldn't want to walk up there early in the morning in the dark to get in my car. I mean, it doesn't seem reasonable for anybody to put a carport garage up on second level 50 to 75 feet away from their home when they're just to use cars that are parked, to use daily. That's what I'm saying. So these are daily used cars. This is not a garage with electricity. It's not a garage with water. It's just basically a carport for our cars. Also, I will mention that there is a main water line from Hobson Street right through the middle of the property. It is, if you look at the picture, there is a picture there. Can you see the upper level? There's a main line that goes right through there.
Can you show it?
Yeah. So we had 811 come out. So this is right here. So this is the next level up here. So the main water line goes right through the middle here.
To feed us.
Yes, to feed up here, and it feeds the Reed's Trust property there. So then you have these drops. You have a drop here, you have a drop here, you have a drop there. And they are pretty steep.
Okay, so who owns this property right here that you guys drive in through? I drove by the house.
This is a right-of-way, right
It's
here.
just the right of way, and that's what the question is, because, so the distance from the road to the Connex is like 40 feet, the visual, I don't know what it is actually, because, but the issue is that it's abutting up against the right of way, is that what they're saying?
Right, because we had, in February, we had a survey done with all buildings and everything on there. And the GSI is actually incorrect. So GSI varies from 3 to 10 feet. So our property, our survey, it is right there. This is on our line.
At the edge of the Connex, right?
At the edge of the Connex,
Okay, so
exactly.
this all shifts this way.
Exactly.
Okay.
Has the county mentioned why the right-of-way is so large in front of your property?
Well, actually, it was back in the 1900s, it was Lincoln County that put those in place at that time.
Gotcha.
Because I talked to the Richard up in, that did the survey, he actually did the survey in 2003 for us. So he's very knowledgeable to Searchlight, he does a lot of surveying here, and he's been around for many, many years. So, I mean, yes, we can ask the Public Works to vacate that. At this point, we spoke with comprehensive planning, and they said that it's probably not necessary at this point.
Right.
But we are, it'd have to be with our neighbor, Vicky Statler, that we could vacate that. So that would give her like 20 more feet and us 20 more feet, if necessary.
Right.
And if we have to, we will,
You wouldn't have to apply for a waiver on several of these things if that.
Right,
if you had
but-
vacated, but it's easier to ask for the
but
waiver.
it's easier to ask for the waiver at this point. I do think that a lot of people don't understand how rural Searchlight is.
I agree, and that's what, to me, I think that the planning commission needs to understand that we can't get someone to repair something, let alone do a full build out there. If we can't get repairmen for, air conditioning, electricians, plumbers, it's,
Well, and I've drove by the property many times as well. I mean, it's not like like she said, it's not just a flat surface where it'd be easy to do this here or there. It's kind of all over the place,
It is, and I don't even think people realize that we own property, our property's up to this house right here.
it's all hills.
Yeah. It's hilly, I mean, it's a very nice piece of property, don't get me wrong, but, you have your Searchlight Road here, we have access to our home, and we have access here as well, so, from
So-
Hobson.
The county wants to deny all of it though?
Well, I guess that's in general, comprehensive planning generally denies it, but, we do have an appointment on September 17th.
And so then what are the requests exactly?
It's on,
Reduce the front
yeah.
setback.
yes.
Okay, so because
Yeah.
of your ass property,
Yes.
okay, because this
Yes.
is setback.
Mhm.
And then reduce the shipping container, which I didn't even know that there were shipping container rules.
I
Like, so that's.
did
not either.
So we call you when we have questions?
Yes.
Because like I had no clue that there was. We're 20
I had no
feet
clue
is
either.
required from the, gosh.
From your
zero.
home?
So 20 feet from the property line?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's a distance of 6 feet required between the containers? 0 from 6?
Yes.
And then that's
We're
between the
2.5.
house?
This is between the house, this is between our house and between the garage, right here. It's 2.5.
Okay. So,
2 feet, 0.5 inches, supposed to be 6 feet.
just the picture, that attached garage was showing, that's the 6 feet one. And then they want 6 feet between the house and the shipping container too?
Yes.
And then they want 6 feet
There's
between the garage.
three setbacks and waivers that we're asking for.
So,
We're asking for one out here, we're asking one for here and out there. So,
I have a bunch of other questions that I don't know why.
I have a lot of pictures if y'all would like to see them.
So you answered my question. So 9 years the garage was there, the container
Yes.
was there first 15 years.
Yes.
Which it's hard to get someone to make those, you know?
Mhm. It's hard to get up there.
The sewer system, they talk about you being within the sewer system, what are they gonna do? Like, there is no sewer on that side of the road.
There is no sewer. I think that is incorrect. We are not on a sewer at all. The sewer ends at like Olson Line 5. That's where it starts, begins right
There's
there.
only a few of us that are on,
Exactly.
anything
So
west of
that is gonna have to be
95.
corrected as well.
so they want, well, we can't, like, we don't have a lift station for them, that's why the sewer is on that way.
So we
Everything
can't
is
connect to the
accepted.
sewer when it's not even there.
So
It's not
they-
applicable
they
to
should-
this agenda.
Right, I think the reclamation district, because each utility, management, which was what they are, is they're all asked to kind of provide comment on the project, whether it's relevant or not. So I think they're just saying, hey, you're on a septic system, if you want to go to the sewer, it's 400 feet away, and you would have to contact us to do that. I
Okay,
don't
so
think-
it's not saying
I don't
it's
think-
mandatory to do
no,
that. It's just
no.
okay.
Yeah, they're just,
Well, I
that's
appreciate
just a
that very
comment.
much for
Yeah.
clearing that up.
So, if there's no power in the garage,
No,
and there's no water, nor a septic hookup.
No.
So then how difficult is it gonna be for you guys to get actual planning, permitting approval?
well,
For the
it's been
sake of
quite
the recording,
difficult.
Lori,
The journey has been very
Lori,
knowledgeable.
just for the sake of the recording, would you mind using your mic? You can stand up here, but
Oh,
if you would just use the mic. Thank you.
Sorry. So what was your question?
How difficult is it gonna be for you guys to get through the permit process for the
I
garage?
don't think it's gonna be too difficult. I have spoke with many people, and we'll see. We will see, like I said, disapproval here or your decision here, then we move on to the 17th with comprehensive plan. And then, yeah, the planning commission, and then we will see what happens there.
So the shipping container is right here, and this right here is Old Hobson Road. There's 60 feet here that's totally inaccessible because it's all mountainous regions. And it only affects us and Vicky, which is all desert.
And what you're saying too, so this is the property line,
Yeah,
Yes,
right there,
right
right.
and then the main water lines for you and your neighbors go straight
That
through?
goes right through it up here.
Yeah, way up
The
here.
one that goes
Up there on top. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 tiers of our property. So
Yes.
all of our concentration of our property is on this part because it's the only usable part we can use. Well, at Climate Hills, they're go straight up.
Right.
Does the water district have an easement for the main?
I'm not, well, yeah, I mean, it goes all the way out here, the Hobson Street, right there. Actually, that's just before,
Out here, he's way out here, so this
Yes.
water line goes clear up here,
all the way out.
and it goes to her house.
And then this is all right of way,
It's
correct?
all right of way, and the only people that can use it basically is us.
Yeah.
So, there's no, but this is all desert and mountainous region. All we use right here for is down off of Hobson, drive in the right of way, and then into our garage.
Can you see James?
Yes. So this is the survey that was just done in February, so this is current. If you want to see more pictures, I have several, if you like, but you said you drove by, you know our property,
Yeah, of course.
so does Cam.
I also sent them some pictures that you gave me about planning, they all have those pictures.
The picture of the garage and the
Yes.
conics, okay?
And Lori and John.
Yes.
Yeah, I drove by the other day, and quite frankly, I thought yours was the nicest property. I mean, I left off Highway 95, I'm like, oh, what's wrong with this property? It looked pretty good.
Thank you.
I can tell you guys really take care of the place.
Yes.
So I was kind of, I looked at this like, wow. A sledgehammer.
Right, and I mean, I can
Yes.
understand where the county comes from, because they look at the map and they're like, well, what are you doing? But if they were actually kind of take a step back and look at the property, it kind of doesn't make sense to do what they're asking,
Yes.
you know?
And I did give them several pictures of all the levels. I mean, there was so many things that were applied in the beginning in the building permit part. And then I went to comprehensive planning phase,
And you
then
guys
those dropped off.
You guys didn't build the home, there was a home there. when-
There was a home there, yes. Yes.
And looking over.
And it is real property.
And looking over this, I'm just looking at the other, like, public works comments, not the fire prevention. I thought, well, maybe there's a fire issue. No comment from the fire department or whatever
No.
their inspector is.
Mm-mm.
So, hard to understand a little bit some of the decisions, so I'm trying to figure this out.
It's been very hard for us to understand as well, James, but, you know, bad things come and you learn and they pass. That's how it works,
Help you learn.
right?
Before we make a motion, I think I'd like to have something on record though.
Sure.
It talks about you have to establish a burden of proof that the request is appropriate for the location. So number one, the use of the area adjacent to the subject property will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. And so from my understanding, that's the right of way and no one can use it, so there is no adverse.
No, there's not. I mean, nobody actually could ever use that right away. And the reason why, I mean, is because honestly, right, if you look right here on Searchlight Road, okay, we're here. This is Searchlight Road right here. This right of way is right here. There is a major mine shaft there that has been covered up by a huge iron grate.
In the public right of way?
Yes, yes. And it actually, I believe it goes under the road. So, I just see how that could never even be a part of any kind of road.
Okay, so in my opinion, you approve number one. Number two, the proposal will not materially affect the health and safety of persons residing and working in or visiting the immediate vicinity and will not be materially detrimental to the public welfare.
No,
So no one's health would be impacted. because of
absolutely.
The lessening of the experiences.
This was put up by a professional company. This was not put up by us.
The building was.
The building was put up by a professional company. It was Carports and More, and then it was actually American Steel that fabricated the material.
I believe you've proven that one then. So number three, the proposal will be adequately certified and will not create an undue burden on any public improvements, facilities, or services.
No, we don't. Actually, we have complemented the area. I mean, if you could see a picture of our home 20 years ago to now, you would be shocked.
I'm looking for it. I have it.
So, no, you guys maintain your property in great condition, and we're grateful for that, and for people that live here like yourself.
Yes.
In my opinion, since I believe that you have proof, the burden of proof that you've established that those will be, I would like to make a motion to approve this with all of the conditions accepted as written.
I'll second.
We have a second, and before I goes all to finish this motion, I just want to reach out to the public if anyone had any comment to make on this item. Okay, I'll withdraw the public.
Kyle, Joan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Come
Oh,
on, here, Joan, let me bring it to you.
You know, the city of Searchlight, or town of Searchlight, you almost have to have resurveyed because the senior center is going through the same problem with the Doing property next door. That property goes into almost a half of our dining room. So
yes, I've talked to many residents who have had an issue with the town surveying in regard to that.
And that's what the county told me. Well, we'd have to resurvey the whole town, and these kids are caught in the same thing.
Just on a side note, I know it's drifted away from the item a little bit, but Mark, would there be any way we can kind of look into that for future, to remedy future issues?
I have a file started on that with the county when
Yeah,
it first came out.
yeah, and we can definitely reach out to like Public Works Surveying and see. I don't know the answer, I'll be completely honest with you, but we can definitely suggest it and maybe, and I know with Joan, I've looked at the senior center and it's it's very unique the way it's mapped, so, that's what I'll say. But yeah, we can definitely, I'm more than happy to reach out to Public Works and see if there's anything, or if there's a way that they can kind of like, maybe it's not every single one, maybe it's a case by case basis, so like if there is either code enforcement or there's like, you know, an owner issue, we could maybe look at those specifically, because I know if I maybe ask for all, they might say no, but I think we could maybe
A
look
case
at
by
like,
case basis.
yeah, so I think that could always be an option, so.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for the comment, Joan. Before we pull it back, is there anybody else from the public who'd like to speak on this? Okay, we're turning it back to the board, and I'll follow up with, we do have a second, so,
I just wanted to add one thing. With this motion, is there anything that we could put in here? Because the county's very specific. Well, they approved, but they didn't address whatever. I mean, have you addressed all the issues in here with this motion?
So what we normally do is, and Tammy can jump into, is we do kind of a rec sheet. So we'll do what the motion is, and then we do a little summary, more or less, right?
Well, when they do their approval, you'll have to add that in to your approval. You can't just add it in later. So whatever he's asking as an addition, then backtrack on your approval, add that in, and then make your approval.
do we have any conditions we'd like to add to the motion?
To clarify, what your condition is for them to understand that we are in a very rural area and have certain different standards than what is in the metro
Yeah.
area. And that's what we need planning to understand. So how do
Okay,
we
well,
add that?
I can put that as part of your discussion.
Okay.
So, but if you have any conditions that you need to either add in or take out, that needs to be put in at that time.
So we are not changing any of the conditions where my
So
motion
you're,
is to
you're,
approve?
you're gonna do your conditions as written on,
Which would be to approve all of the
all the
setbacks.
setbacks, you're gonna approve as written.
As written.
No other
Yeah.
conditions, but part of your discussion, which I will add, was due to the rural area.
And the difficulty in getting
Yeah, I
contractors
actually.
And the right of way that's in front there.
and the
as
right of
well.
way issues and.
Also, we, separately, just as a member of the board, we could, write to the PC, right, planning commission, our comments, if we have any that we want to express in that
Yeah.
way.
Oh, yeah, you can, add your comments, so, but anything you want me to add on that rec sheet is gonna go to, Glenn, which I will do tomorrow morning. So, because they have to do the agenda, PC meeting.
So we do have a pending motion, so do we want to re-motion with the conditions, or,
No, I'm fine with our original.
okay? If everyone's good, then all those in favor? Aye. Motion passed, 4-0.
One clarification, so on that threat sheet, you put on there that you're all in favor of it.
Oh, absolutely,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
and any key points from your discussion, this is for their information, so they can better, make their decisions.
So if you could put in there that we all have driven past and are happy with the home, the aesthetics of it, that it's in our community and that it's a well-maintained property.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Are you guys okay with that?
I'll even
Of course,
have
yes.
everything positive to say, so that's what I will put in my report.
Absolutely.
Okay, yes.
All right, well, I thank you so much.
Thanks, guys, and
I didn't have to show you the pictures because you all know where we live, and I do appreciate it so much.
that was a lot of hard work to get this like this.
Yes.
We're sorry we have to get
It's a
through
backhoe or a jackhammer, so we need those trees in the ground.
Thank you, John and Lori.
A little bit of advice is, sometimes you just need to be careful who you allow in your home and allow in your life. That is my advice.
Thank you so
Game and
much.
family.
Thank you, guys.
All righty,
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Approval, permitting and those.
all right,
So,
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll be over it in
hopefully the 17th. I'm not sure, is it longer than that?
So they drag it up.
Or-
No, so after
Thank
that,
you for
the
thank
planning
you for
commission will
coming
decide
to my
final
house.
action,
It's a lot of hard work.
and then, if there's any other, we'll communicate if it's a different
It's
outcome.
easement, it's never gonna be used.
Okay, yeah, because they actually have.
That's why I don't want, I
Yes,
don't want to
correct.
abandon that
Regardless
because
of this.
at 60 feet. I can-
This is advisory, they'll take that, they'll also take this as well, but,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
And then you'll be attending that meeting part as well.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I have a suggestion with that. If you have neighbors that can go up, with you on your behalf and say, this is how it is, this is, not a hindrance or a problem or whatever, if you have anybody that can go with you, speak with you, that also helps. And you have additional people.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Well, that's a good, sound of advice. We do have lovely neighbors. We've established relationships with almost all of them.
there you go.
So-
So they should go have a nice lunch.
Be generous at 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was late, yeah.
Yeah.
So I did have one question, just, so if approved, we approved it without, as written, if approved, they're recommending 1 year to complete the building permit, and then in 2 years, in 2 years from the approval date. Do you believe that you'll be able to complete it within these time frame requirements?
To my knowledge, speaking with comprehensive planning, several officers, that we should be, I'm hoping the end of October.
Okay, so you believe that the 1 year, because that's how it's going
Yeah.
to be written as approved
Yeah.
with these conditions, 1 year to complete the building permit, and 2 years from the approval date, the application was commenced, which you've already started.
Original turn-in date was 9/18 of 2023, but we did not receive the letter from code enforcement until January 2nd of 2024.
We jumped right on it, we jumped right on it.
Yeah, we got right on top of it. We've been working with them, and it has been a difficult process.
16, kind of 6.
I'd like to thank you guys for being very mature throughout this whole process as well. I could tell by your demeanor that you guys have done everything
We
you
have.
could do the right way,
Yes.
and that it shows. So thank you.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you, Kyle.
And thank you for your faith in us, that we will do the right thing for this community as well.
Exactly.
Thank you, guys.
We're a
Thanks, guys.
small community.
Yeah.
All righty, thank you so much.
You can leave now?
All right, guys, moving on to general business. We do not have any tonight. And so going on to comments by the general public. This is a period devoted to comments by the general public about matters relevant to the board's jurisdiction will be held. No discussion, action, or vote may be taken on this agenda item. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please step up to the speaker's podium. If applicable, clearly state your name and address, and please spell your last name for the record. If any member of the board wishes to extend the length of a presentation, this will be done by the chairperson of the board by majority vote. Okay. And moving on, next meeting date is September 11th, 2024, and I'd like to motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye, adjournment passed. Thanks for coming, everybody.